Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, and I'm going over an update on my Paleozoic frogs. There's quite a few different variations I've done on this deck over the I think year and a half that I've had it. I did like Paleo Shadalls. I did the 60 card thing with Grass Looks Greener when it was at 3. Still ran the Shadalls in that. Paleo Artifacts. Did Paleo Thunder King stuff. Did some like different Paleo with, I think it was like a straight up water deck at one point. It just went through a lot of change. Then recently did the Paleo Spellbook thing. Did the Paleo build with lava golems and all that stuff. The Link one with, you know, scapegoats. Pretty much did all the popular ones and then some unorthodox builds. This is an update on the Paleozoic artifact build. It's one of my favorite ones. I really do like what it does. I just feel like the artifact engine really helps me against evenly matched, because that's what blows this deck out the water. It's like set 5 pass, evenly matched, keep 1 trap. That's not very, that's not very ideal. And then I also put some spicy text in it to just really shut decks down and kind of sit them in their place like, hey son, I'm here, you gotta respect me whether you like it or not, because I'm a frog. So without further ado, let's hop right into this build, and I'm gonna show you all the spicy text that I'm playing. Paleos are one of those decks that you can make as spicy as you want to. 3 swap frogs. This dude, his name is Ernesto. Dude frog is actually named Esteban. I named him after my turtle, who is my baby. I love my turtle. And 2 copies of Roni Homie. Then we have 2 barrier statue of the torrent. I actually have 3 of him. I chose to only play 2 because it actually for some reason was bricking, and I was like, this don't make sense. This deck is totally not a 40 card deck. Why am I drawing multiples of him? And even though he's food for Swap Frog, you have to draw Swap Frog with him. But he is extra water monsters nonetheless for Swap if he's a dead card in your hand. But the aspect of this card is basically, you know, just to shut your opponent out. Nobody's special summoning water monsters. I don't care what anybody says. Aside from Paleos, ain't nobody summoning water monsters except for like Ib. And if you're making Ib, you have to special summon in the first place to do so. So this is retarded. Like, this in Paleos, it doesn't make sense because you play like every way to protect this monster. Like, every single way. It's just retarded. It does not make sense. It's not fair. This is one of the reasons why the current build I'm doing with Paleos is so strong and just not fair whatsoever. Then, the artifact engine, the 2 monsters I play is Scythe and Lancia. So there is one small problem if you open up with this and your Sanctum. This shuts your Sanctum down. That's the only one problem that this barrier statue has in this deck. It kind of conflicts at that one time, but at that point it's kind of like either, you know, it's either Sanctum or barrier statue, and most of the time I'm going for barrier statue, and then, you know, once he's dead, flip that Sanctum anyways. But outside of that, this is just like an auto win because you protect it with, you know, your Banisher, your Book, your Mirror Forces, Threatening Roars, your Wabakoos. You're totally awesome. And you keep adding it back with Toad. It's just stupid. So this sums up the monster count. It's basically just 12 monsters. Not really too big, but at the same time, not too small. Just a perfect balance. The frogs are dope, man. I'm telling you, frogs are gangsters. I don't care. Nobody says them frogs be putting in work. And yeah, I'm playing that Demise build, y'all. The thing with Demise, a lot of people kind of like say this: if you're playing Demise, you can't special summon. And I'll be like, man, it's not like every card in the deck is Demise. You're not going to draw 40 different Demises in a 40 card deck, and you're not going to draw 5 Demises in your opening hands. So I just really don't understand, like, you know, the reasoning behind people saying, you know, Demise is a bad card, especially in Paleos, because you can never special summon. It's like, dude, you can always special summon. Even if you have this card in your hand, it's a choice whether you activate it. Every card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a choice. You don't just play Solemn Strike just because. It's like you choose whether or not. So if you're in a situation where it's like Demise holds more relative value in a cumulative, you know, if you think in accumulation of how long it's gonna, you know, how long the game's gonna last and how far it's gonna get you, and you weigh that in comparison to, ooh, I could, you know, make this, that, or the other from my extra deck. Which more is, you know, which play is more important? And then once you weigh out your options and decide which is the best, that's when you make the play that's smart to you, which, you know, in your mind you think is going to get you game. So I feel like Demise is a great card because it gives you options. If you don't play Demise, you can play like, you know, other draw power. There's a lot out there, you know, like with the Spellbook engine, which I did the Spellbook thing with Demise as well for more draw power, being greedy. You can do the Spellbook engine and you don't have to play Demise. I'm playing Demise for the downright draw 3 in the middle of a grind game and set more traps and keep going. It's really dope. We play 3 Desires because this deck ain't 40, and if it was, I'd still play 3. Desires is amazing in Paleos because everything that's not frogs is totally expendable. There's not a single trap that you're scared to lose. A trap is a trap, and if it's chainable, it doesn't even matter. So Desires is just stupid in this deck. Even more so because it kind of sets you up for Lee and Kaya a little bit better sometimes, which, you know, that's just something that comes up. It really does help. And also, you know, the Demise and the Desires in the same turn, drawing a fresh hand of 5 cards is pretty amazing. So that alone is like pretty game changing. You know, if you're in the middle of the game and you've been grinding the crap out of your opponent with your Paleos, you've been going totally awesome. Add toe back, make another toe, negate, keep doing the same thing over and over. And out of nowhere, you're like, Demise, Desires, 5 cards. They're like, I either need a scoop or I need to figure something out right now because this dude has too much resources now. And then you're playing 3 copies of Maria. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm sick, you guys. 3 copies of Canadia, 3 copies of Olenoids. And also, this might be a little bit different, but I don't like opening up with this card too much. I play 2 Dinomisius. For the most part, when you set this card, you have to leave a trap in your hand, so you're setting less. And also, when you open up with multiples, it's the worst thing ever, because you basically are just going to use Dinomisius for itself. And that's like, what's the point, you know? So I really like 2. The first one, if you open up with it, can be resolved. But for the most part, I really prefer to search this card off of Opabinia to begin with. And this is another Paleo card that most people either don't play or just don't like. I love Pikaia. The thing with it, it changes the tempo of the game. It makes things a lot faster. It lets you turbo out your Paleos with Opabinia on field. You just search it, play it, chain, pitch, draw 2, special, just keep going. It's just crazy. And then Lee and Chai, kind of the same thing. The 1-of is perfect because when you open up with this card, it's a brick, but playing it at 1, there's such a minute, minuscule chance of drawing the card. It's totally worth playing at 1 because it does help your Desires to where basically Desires just banish 9 cards instead of 10. And, you know, whenever you banish Ronin Totem, it helps with that as well. So yeah, Lee and Chai is kind of a really good card. And for the most part, it's free, kind of like Maria. So it's just chainable. You know, extend your frog plays. You know, for example, activate this, chain trap, return a frog, and then banish that with Ronin Totem. Make a free totally awesome off of this 1 card. I've done it. It's pretty dope. So that sums up the Paleozoic portion. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's either 15 or 14. And then we're playing 3 Reckless Greeds. Why not? It just makes so much sense in this deck. It's totally free. It's chainable. You draw 2 cards, skip your next 2 draw phases. Dude, you're going to draw those 2 cards anyways. It's not like you weren't going to get a different result. So Reckless Greed just makes too much sense in this deck to not play it. And then 3 Wabakus. Wabaku is just way too good. This is one of the worst decks to go into time with because there's so many ways it can stall out. And it can get ahead of you in advantage. And then, you know, there's ways where it can just freaking control your entire life, man. And then also, to make things even worse, I play 3 Threatening Roars. So I like opening it with cards like Wabaku and Threatening Roar because if I have a Maria or like a Pikaia, just ways to get Paleos engraved, all I need to do at that point is protect them from being destroyed by battle because they're already unaffected by monster effects. And we're in a monster-heavy format right now where it's like sleepers are running around, link monsters are running around, you know, boss monsters are running around, you know, they creeping, they not sleeping. So you really need a lot of protection. So if your Paleos can't be destroyed by battle and they're unaffected by monster effects, you're pretty much going to keep them that turn, and next turn you're just going to overlay them or link summon with them and keep pushing with your plays. Then also, to make things even worse, I play Storming Mirror Forces. I was playing Quakings, but they're actually not as dominant as they used to be because Link format, you know. I really got to clear my throat. Link monsters cannot be switched to defense. They have no defensive value. That's pretty much something everybody knows. So Storming's pretty dope. It doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, and it's not Quaking. So I was like, 3 Stormings make sense. And to make things even worse than worse already was, I'm playing 3 Evenly Matched. If everybody's playing Evenly Matched against me, I'm going to play it against them. And if you're going second, you play it from your hand. If not, you're just like, hey, it's a trap, it's chainable, why not? You know, sometimes you do damage with it, sometimes you don't. But it's definitely a blowout when you're going second. And then we play 3 Artifact Sanctums because we're playing the Artifact engine. You flip Sanctum if they're like battle phase. As soon as they enter battle phase, you're like, Sanctum, Lancia, no, Nope, 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 nope. Yugioh battle phase. I don't care. Play that evenly matched. But you're going to have to activate your Sanctum before evenly matched gets activated. Because if they activate evenly matched and you chain Sanctum, this is chain link 1, this is chain link 2. Lancia cannot resolve before evenly matched resolves. So you have to be careful and play your Sanctum before they end their battle phase. And before they activate evenly matched from hand. That's how you counter that card. So yeah, 3 Sanctum. And also to play the Scythe, you know, just be like, hey, nobody's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. And then 3 copies of Strike, because Strike makes the mirror match free. Strike deals with a lot of problems. It's a really good trap, and this deck plays traps better than most. Then we also play 2 Lost Winds. Lost Wind is great. It's double negation. It's utility. It lets you chain even more traps. It's a great target for Maria. Ha! I'm playing 2 Switcheroos, bro. You'll be like, hey, dude, you play Switcheroos. What does this do? This doesn't even make sense. All right, bro. So this is something funny. If you have no monsters in your field and you have a Paleo grave, let's say like something like, oh, there's just like a random Condino on the field, or like a Licorice, or like BLs for the Trickstar matchup, Timestar, Buguska's on the field. Let's say Spiral Sleeper is the only monster on the field, or something like that. Just that scenario. I can display different scenarios. You're like Switcheroo, Chain Trap. All right, give me your Sleeper or Licorice or your BLs or your freaking Buguska. And here goes my Paleo monster. Here you go. You can have them, bro. Switcheroo is dope. It's so great in this deck because you can actually manipulate your field presence according to what your opponent has. Because you chain traps from your grave, and also because you have the Frog Engine, Ronin Totem can summon himself to the field. You can link summon to decrease, or you can chain traps and summon frogs to increase. So this downright just outfields. For example, if your opponent has something on the lines of, let's think of a weird matchup. Let's say like, there is a Spiral Sleeper, I guess. You've already resolved this effect or something like that. Nah, let's change it to a different scenario. Let's just say your opponent has 3 monsters and you have 2 monsters or something like that. Or you have 1 and you're like, activate trap, chain trap, activate Switcheroo, chain 3rd trap. We now control 3 and 3, switch it up, let's get it. So Switcheroo is just freaking dope, and it just catches so many people off guard. I don't even think it's seen competitive play like whatsoever. I don't even think the card's seen play, period. Yeah, it's pretty dope. And in the Draco matchup, because the monster they control is only going to be Masterpiece, it's pretty easy to just take the Masterpiece from them and use it against them, which is nice. So Switcheroo definitely has its days. It's just a card that I feel like it deserved to have play somewhere in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, Paleozoic's definitely the deck that can do it. So yeah, Switcheroos. Surprise! You know, all my deck profiles are going to have something that's going to throw you off. 3 Miss Starboys. Topo for the combos, dude. Because all your Paleos are unaffected by monsters. They don't care about Topo. Your opponent loses monsters and you don't. Bore load. How do you do this if your Paleozoic monsters are non-effect monsters? Bro, you have effect monsters in your deck. You have the frogs. You have your extra deck monsters. Miss Starboy's already a link to. It's pretty easy to make them. It's pretty easy to make Bore load, honestly. It's just like as simple as Miss Starboy. Alright, I have a Totally Awesome that's pretty much served its purpose. Activate Ronin Totem, special Ronin Totem, link with Miss Starboy, Ronin Totem, and Totally Awesome. Summon Bore load, use Toad, add something back. There's a lot of ways to make Bore load. He's just so good, you have to play him. If you can make him, you have to play him. He's just way too strong. Topo is just like a staple in this deck. I'm not playing Scapegoat, so there's no real reason to go too crazy on the links. So just 5. 3 Totally Awesome, because he's freaking savage and he don't care about no ban list. 3 Opabinia, right? Most people play 2. 2 Anomalocaris, right? And this is really because I don't have the Sky Cavalry Centura. This is my proxy for him. If I had him, I'd probably play 2 of him, and then Cat Shark. And guess what? My proxy for him is actually a face down Digusto Phoenix. So if you guys are wondering where that is, he's right here. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the deck profile, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're a fan of Paleozoics, this definitely is for you. If you feel like this deck is trash, hey, let me know. If you like the deck, let me know. Nonetheless, every man is entitled to his opinion. I like this deck. It's really fun. I'm really entertained with my build and how it performs. If you're curious as to how this deck performs, I'll show you. I've dueled with it before, but I'll definitely show you some more duels with it. This deck is really savage. I definitely can show you the proof to the pudding because I've definitely like savaged so many people with it. It's like one of the trolliest decks ever. But nonetheless, God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. And stay tuned for the Pure Blue Eyes, the Herald countering the hand traps, and the update for True King Yang Zings. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and sign out.